Hi guys, it's your girl Marl and Kiawan filming for another vlog. 'For today's video, we're going to tackle about grammar. But the thing is, it is not just simply as grammar as you know. Before that, let me impart you my brief introduction about grammar. Grammar has a vital role in terms of communicating or expressing our thoughts and ideas. For grammar serves as an instrument in order to produce a clear information towards others and to make it comprehensible. So, here is the main point of this video. I'm gonna share to you some unfamiliar ones which I hope you'll learn. Without any further ado, let's start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, have you guys heard about these words? And do you know the difference about these words? And lastly, do you know about these words? All of this said to be the key terms and concepts in managing and implementing standards-based grammar teaching. If you want to know further about this, then tune up and I'll be explaining to you my learnings. Let's start with the grammaring. This is a kind of skill, actually the fifth skill, wherein a learner are able to apply and use the grammar structure properly upon constructing a sentence, paragraph, or any written form. Grammaring serves as an ingredient to generate a great outcome upon building any written work. It is said to be a vital process on acquiring second language, for it doesn't focus on the rules of the system. Instead, it puts emphasis on instant change and progress. Anyone can use it as long as they have the capacity about grammar and can make one appropriately, either native speaker or not. Now let's proceed to the second one, which is the grammaticalization. Grammaticalization is a form of changing a language from lexical meaning to the one that has mostly grammatical function. Expansion models of grammaticalization look at the development of construction as it ages, while reduction models look at changes in formal dependency and phonetic alteration. Now, let's proceed to comparison part. Number 3. Error correction versus feedback. Error correction, from the word itself, is a procedure wherein a teacher tends to correct the student's mistake. Errors may cause upon the diverse acquisition of language a student does. On giving corrections, teachers must be very sensitive and considerate for the students to be not misinterpret what it really wants to relate. As soon to be a teacher, it should be properly addressed without letting the child down. Usual prevention to this is make it as natural without them noticing it. It would be very good if you'll try to figure out how to correct them by applying the 3 techniques for correcting, which is the self-correction, where you let a student realize his or her error. Second is student-to-student correction. Class interaction is also one of the best solutions in terms of correcting e-learning, for it will came out naturally for them. Their fellow students will correct each other. Lastly, if those 2 techniques is not effective, do the teacher correction, which is way better, but apply it where a student is capable to. On the other hand, feedback will insert if the mistake needs more explanation than correction. Means it needs a deep comprehension, and you can apply it by writing comments on your works, which is most effective one, or if it is orally presented, then you might call
and approach the learner in a nice way which won't attack his her confidence. Feedback is done for a molding students' competence, proficiency, and capacity.
Now let's proceed to the fourth one, which is the spoken grammar versus written grammar. Spoken grammar is using grammar, words, language verbally. In spoken, it is not as strict as written, for we can utter words comfortably and use it flexibly without being said wrong grammar. For the construction of the sentences you relate is understandable, which makes it correct. Some words that are used in speaking may be found wrong when it comes to written, but in spoken, it is not an issue. It will turn to be accurate considering that phrases a person built will be conveyed to the listener effectively, while in written grammar, it is very delicate because you need to be more aware of punctuations, proper construction, and many grammatical structures that is needed to follow for it to be comprehensible and in order to decode as correct grammar. At the same time, be able to communicate to the reader properly. Now let's proceed to the next phase, which is the fourth one, grammatical assessment. From the word itself, grammatical assessment, it is a kind of approach concerning the learning of language, specifically the proper usage of grammar and grammatical structures. Teachers tend to evaluate students' capacity upon conducting some sort of activities in both spoken and written. The purpose of assessment is to figure out which students lack of knowledge in regards with grammar and also for enhancing their capacity, knowledge, and competency on proper usage of language. Lastly, now we'll proceed to the pedagogical issues. In teaching language, there are some issues which needs to be prevented. Usually, the most common cause of it is the cultural differences inside the atmosphere of the class. In organizing the class, instructors need to consider and think flexibly upon applying a technique on teaching. They must brainstorm very well if the way they'll teach will be attainable and acquirable for both native and non-native speakers. Because some non-native speakers need a lot of time to regulate the discussion, while compared to native speakers, they can easily comprehend, for they are used to it. But the disadvantage of some native speakers is that they'll take for granted the learning of language considering that they think they know it all. That is why most of them end up learning none. While the non-native speakers will turn out to obtain more knowledge, for they really learn and listen to the discussion and the language course. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you for listening in my discussion. I hope you learn and enjoy. Bye!